Ah, what's happening? Seems like we woke Masha up. It's okay. Keep sleeping. She was already sitting up on the bed and staring blankly at our little party. Well, you see, they're all gone. Disappeared. Everyone's gone. Lana burst into tears and flung her arms around Masha's neck. What? What's going on? Can you speak clearly? Well, long story short, I cracked my neck and compulsively reached for the cigarettes in my pocket. Finding none, I heaved a sigh of frustration and said, "It looks like there's just 5 of us left in this camp. Meaning everyone in this room. Rejoice! Captain Obvious has returned. You're gonna keep watch first." Eh? No, nothing. Do you really think that it's safe for everyone to sleep at the same time? Well, it isn't, but... My bad. Do you really think it's safe for Router to be the one left out there by himself? What's he gonna do if he's attacked by the vampire or werewolf or badger evil owl that's out there killing everybody? What's he gonna do? Exactly. I handed him the pipe and slowly approached the bed where Lana was still sobbing in Masha's arms. Well, if you don't mind. I slipped my boots off, climbed over the girls, and turned towards the wall. You know, I can't help but notice, Semyon, that there are 2 beds in this cabin. You ain't gotta sleep with the girls. You could have one bed for yourself and let the girls take the other one. But how? Whose voice was that? But how? Anyhow, sleep. I was so exhausted, both physically and more importantly, emotionally, and I was unable to do anything, think anything, communicate with anybody. I was desperate to get some sleep. Way too desperate. Masha's whispers, Lena's sobs, Elisa's voice, all that has somehow melted in one quiet lullaby. And so I fell asleep. I was forcibly awakened by someone doing their best to shake me. Physically shake me, that is. Router was leaning over me and nudging my shoulder. What? It's your turn now. How long have I slept? About an hour. Only an hour? Stay on your watch. I'm already dozing off. Yeah, an infinite power source wouldn't hurt for our Router. Although it wouldn't hurt for me too. Oh, fine. I rose with considerable effort, climbed over Lena and Masha, who slept with their arms around each other, and jumped down to the floor. The room seemed slightly brighter. The morning's coming. Yeah. Router tried to get to my place, but I grabbed him by the collar, threw him down on the floor, and gave him a blanket and a pillow. So you can, and you cannot. Not gonna lie, that's a bit of a D-bag move. I mean, first off, he shouldn't be in bed with the 2 girls anyway. But I mean, why do you get to be With Lena and Masha and not Router. I would sooner trust Router than Semyon. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I mean, if I recall correctly, Semyon is technically not even the age that he's supposed to be a pioneer. He's like 30-something. I don't know, it's been a while. Come to think of it, why can't he? Anyway, it's not that important now. I took the chair, dragged it to the door, sat down and started to wait. Where's Elisa? Anticipation seemed to be the best word to describe what I was feeling. Any moment now the door will burst open and a maniac will break into the room, or the last residents of this camp will disappear. Or I will disappear. In any case, something will happen. I deeply felt that. Router was snoring his head off. The girls were sleeping securely. And I was starting to doze off too. I clenched the pipe harder. The feeling of cold metal against my bare skin somehow brought me back to my senses. I must not sleep. I'm their only hope now. And my own too. But it's so hard to resist. Just a couple of minutes. My eyes seemed to have a life of their own, opening and closing spontaneously as my mind wandered. A rustling came from behind the door. No, I must have imagined that. It's just those damned grasshoppers. What are they still up to? Maybe it's the grasshoppers to blame? They fell upon the camp like a swarm of locusts and devoured everybody. A vision of me being devoured by grasshoppers unfolded in my mind. A disgusting storm was brewing in my head. Their long legs, their wings, a huge head, and the eyes filled with darkness. Eyes reflecting the abyss. Just look a grasshopper in the eye. You'll never be the same again. The writer of this story really doesn't like grasshoppers. Grasshoppers did my man dirty. That's how it happens. I'm running away. They are after me. There are thousands of them. Millions. I'm desperately jumping over the pits and gullies, climbing hills and rocks. They don't care. They've got wings. Yeah, these filthy wings that make that nasty rattle. Probably they wouldn't need their teeth anyway. They just have to flap these horrible wings faster and faster, summoning the sonic wave of the apocalypse. No, I just can't block out this hellish noise anymore. I'm falling, desperately trying to cover my ears with my hands. Please stop it. Somebody. Well then. I was woken by a sharp pain in the back of my head. Opening my eyes, I realized that I was lying sprawled on the floor. It looks that I fell asleep and slipped off my chair. It was 9 o'clock. Damn it! It looks like I was sleeping for 5 hours straight. Anything could have happened. Horrified, I patted myself down, and everything seemed to be in its place. That was close. I shook our squad awake. My turn already? You sleep too much. While I've been sitting here all night long. Sure, that was a lie, but telling them that I spent the night running for my life from the grasshoppers definitely wasn't an option. I'm sorry. Router hung his head. Don't worry about it. Aw, I'm hungry as hell. Masha stretched out and gave me a cute smile. This is not a time for cute smiles. This is a time for worried smiles. I don't know what a worried smile is. And why are you all here? Don't you remember anything? Nope. What's the matter? Everyone's gone, said Elisa gloomily. Say what? Everyone's gone. Vanished into thin air. Masha glanced out of the window and said nothing. Seems like she remembered now. Oh, yeah. It's like when you're going through something heavy and, you wake up in the morning and you have those first few moments of bliss where you don't recall what it is that you're going through or dealing with or whatever bad thing happened recently. But then it all comes back to you. Well, getting something to eat is indeed a fine idea. Nobody was going to object. It's not like I was in the mood to eat, same as everyone else. But ultimately everyone knew that we had to keep ourselves running. Soon enough we were sitting in the canteen, quietly digging into whatever we could find. Want me to cook something? Inquired Masha quietly. Let's wait for lunch. For now it's fine. She gave me a disappointed look. Okay, so what are we gonna do? We have to get out of here. But the police. We have to get out of here, I repeated stubbornly. But how? Bus. It's highly unlikely that one will come. It doesn't run too often. At least there should be a timetable somewhere around here. I tried to remember if I've ever seen the bus map or its timetable somewhere. Probably not. Then we'll go on foot. Anything's better than staying here. But it's a long way to... Well, we might hitch a lift. Here, in the middle of nowhere? I doubt that. Oh, stop it with that drama. Although thinking about it, it's exactly the right time for drama. I'm not being dramatic, but... That's it. End of story. What are we gonna say when we reach the city? We'll tell them the truth. We came to shoot a movie, and then... What movie? Okay, stop fooling around, will you? I buried my face in my hands, feeling run down. Even if it was kind of funny yesterday, although it really wasn't. You can stop it now. I don't get you. Oh, you're still going to keep on pretending that you came here not to shoot a movie, but to roleplay as a pioneer? I don't understand a thing. Elisa swept her surprised gaze across everyone. But we are pioneers. What pioneers? Masha, who had kept silent so far, butted in.
It's the 21st century out there. Yeah, right. Pioneers.
21st? Looks like we're indeed in a deep mess. So you're all gonna say that we are normal pioneers who just came here on vacation for a week or so? A heavy silence followed.
Well, yes.
I cast a look at Masha. Looks like she doesn't know how to react either. I signaled to her, pointing at the door. Excuse us for a second. Having gone outside, I asked, what do you think? Well, she adopted the pose of the ancient Greek thinker. Looks like they genuinely believe that. And some folks named Semyon and Miku were in our shoes until yesterday. Some.
Well, I guess you're more familiar with them than I am.
Oh, come on. I interrupted her. Couldn't you come up with a more feasible theory?
I still have absolutely no theories at all. I no longer know what to think.
Me neither.
But anyway, all hell is breaking loose here even without taking pioneers into account. Murders, dozens of people disappearing without a trace. That ought to be our top priority now.
I looked closely at Masha. I wonder how can she keep such a cool head under these circumstances. Sure, I'm also trying to keep calm, but
it means...
What?
Let's leave this issue for later.
But at least a wild guess.
Guess it's somehow connected to the disappearances. It's safe to assume that one, or even 2 or 3 humans couldn't deal with so many people at once.
Agreed.
It might be that this phenomenon somehow affected them.
Might be.
Anyway, it's easier to believe in that than, for example, that we're in a parallel reality or something.
You know, by now I'm willing to believe in anything.
Then let's stick to this theory for now.
Okay.
Let's go?
You go ahead. I'll be back in a minute.
It's dangerous to be all alone.
Seriously, what's so dangerous? Broad daylight? And everyone's around here.
Okay.
She gave me a faint smile and headed back to the canteen. But still, her behavior is also quite odd. It looks like the last few days changed everything and everyone, including Masha. Yesterday, shock, fear and trembling. Today, cold and sensible reasoning. To be fair, that is what a good night's sleep will do for you. Damn, she's even more self-assured than me. Could it just be a good sleep? No, there is something wrong with her too. Oh, you're just gonna shoot down my theory like that, huh? Sure, she doesn't think that she's a pioneer like everyone else does, but still. Something has happened to them. And maybe it also happened to me. No, it can't be. Everything seems to be fine. I've double-checked my body and found no abnormalities. Okay, I have to keep calm and control myself. I got up and was about to return to the canteen when suddenly I heard a tiny voice from behind my back. As if somebody was calling for me. Don't do it, Semyon. As if somebody was calling for me. Don't do it, Semyon. Please, don't do it. Don't do it. Go back into the canteen. Have some lunch, please. Don't do it. I got down from the porch and took a few steps towards the voice. He's doing it. The fool was doing it. Somebody was peering at me from behind the tree. I really don't wanna click to the next scene. I don't wanna do it. I don't like this. I don't like the idea of tiny voices calling out to me. Hey, does anybody know how to drive? Just hotwire this car and we can all get out of here. We'll start a new life in like another part of Russia. We'll be happy and okay. Oh dear, I knew. See, I knew I was not. That's. See, I knew I wasn't gonna like what was. Oh dear, don't look it in the eye, please. Okay. It was Uliana. It was Uliana. No, not Uliana, but something that looked like her. I froze in my tracks. Half of her face was torn and hanging down in shreds. Her grinning jaw trembled nervously as if in laughter. A bloodshot eye, hanging half out of its socket, suddenly swiveled its pupil to look at me. No swiveling, please. No swiveling of the eyes. I stopped breathing. It felt like I was gonna die right now due to the shock. I don't blame you. If I saw that in real life, yeah. So, oh gosh, oh dear, it's calling out to me. It's how the hell do I even do the voice of whatever this is? Semyon. The thing that seemed to be Uliana was calling for me. My legs began to give out. I tried hard not to collapse, tried to scream, tried to run away. But my consciousness had already left the body, that now was just a rag doll, moving by the will of an invisible puppet must... Fudge! But my consciousness had already left the body that now was just a rag doll, moving by the will of an invisible puppet master. One more second and... Hey! Oh. I instinctively turned towards the word, caught sight of Masha standing on the porch, and then instantly looked back to Uliana. But she was gone. Masha seemed to notice the deathly pallor upon my face and jumped over to me in the blink of an eye. What? What happened? I just saw Uliana. There. I pointed my finger towards the tree. Sure, the sight of the butchered Slavia was indeed gruesome. But at least she was dead and not walking around in broad daylight with her face torn apart, and she wasn't calling me by name. Even if the name wasn't my own. The last ounces of my strength deserted me, and I collapsed to my knees. What? Where? Masha was shaking me by the shoulders. It wasn't her. That was... I don't know. Get a hold of yourself. Oh! I felt a round arm slap hit me. What the fudge is this sentence? I felt a round arm slap hit me. I assume that means hit. hit me in the face and gave Masha a questioning look. My cheek burned, but I slowly started to regain my composure. Uliana was there, with her face. Basically, it was a zombie. Yeah, zombie Uliana. That's the most rational explanation I can give. Masha looked at me dumbfounded. Anything can happen here. If you'd seen her for yourself. Thank God I didn't. Come on, I'll get you some water.